Yeehaw soldiers, it's your boy the Anime Sage coming to turn a video, and this is me reading the Fanfic Legacy, this time chapters 20 for 22, and this is the last video before I get into the Legacy movie, which will have all the Legacy videos in one video, so you have a lot of content to watch out of the series. I normally would do this movie thing if this was, the end of a certain series, but Legacy has over 6 to 8 chapters, and if I were to try to edit that video, that'd probably be like hours long, so I'm splitting up the movie into 3 parts, and you guys will essentially be getting a compilation of, again, chapters 1 for 22, and after that, it should be 23 for 46, and after that, it should be 47 for 68. So, a good amount of, content to go through, so that's pretty cool, I guess. And yeah, that's about it in terms of how I'm doing this movie thing. And I initially wanted to do chapter 23 in addition to, Legacy chapters 20 for 22, but yeah, I couldn't do that. It was way too long. Anyways, in terms of other stuff, make sure you watch out for What If Naruto's Happy Chia Part 3, I believe. What If Kakashi was in Uchiha Part 2, that the first part of that series did really well. And also What If Goku was in Naruto, and of course an MHA Fanfic Created, and also another part to What If Deku had Spider-Man's powers. And there's also a lot of miscellaneous content I'm working on as well. In addition to that, also Legacy chapters 23 for 25, which will come out after the movie releases, eventually. Again, these Legacy videos take a lot of time to make because, you gotta, record it and stuff like that, but it's whatever. Anyways, watch the community tab like a hawk. Make sure you donate to my Patreon if you want some nice rewards. Follow me on Twitter, @AnimeStage4, Instagram, @anime_stage4, and join my Discord server, just linked down in the description. I will give you all reasons to follow show notes at the end of the video, so watch until the end. And in terms of the last bit of the usual checklist, if you haven't seen chapters 17 for 19, I'll link that video in the description. And if you haven't seen this series at all, if you're new here, well, go check out the playlist, as, that's kind of important. Anyways, with all that out of the way, let's get right into the fanfic reading, starting off with chapter 20, Sharingan vs. Sharingan. Kage box. Looks like Uchiha arrived just in time, Raikage commented. Indeed, the Hokage agreed. Let's see how much you have grown, Sasuke-kun, the Kazekage thought. Let's see what your project can do, the Raikage said. In fact, he was hoping Uchiha was humiliated. He read reports from his gang team that Uchiha thought he was almighty. Prodigy, the Hokage started gaining the attention of both Kages. Nowadays, people throw that name around without knowing its true meaning. The true prodigies are Uzumaki Naruto and Hyuga Hinata, and I have high hopes for both of them, the Hokage said with a small smile. He never thought that his surrogate grandson would grow so much after a rough early life like he had. You sure are attached to that particular kid, the Raikage commented, narrowing his eyes at the blonde in the arena. That kid reminds me of someone, the Raikage thought. Someone on your mind? The Hokage asked the Raikage. The blonde brat, Uzumaki Naruto. He seems to remind me of someone. I just can't pinpoint it, the Raikage said. Who were his parents? He asked, and the Hokage and Jiraiya both stiffened. Should I tell him? The Hokage thought. Better not. I'll let Naruto choose when to reveal his true heritage, the Hokage concluded. I'm afraid even I don't know. He's an orphan from the Kyuubi attack, the Hokage replied. The Raikage looked carefully to Hokage to spot any sign of lies, but found none. It's a shame, the Raikage said, and both the Hokage and Jiraiya let out a brief sigh of relief. Though the kid has style to emulate the hairstyle of one of your founders, Uchiha Madara, the Raikage commented, and the Hokage and Jiraiya were once again sweating bullets. How could the Raikage almost figure out his grandfather's identity? The Raikage wasn't as blunt as people said he was. That hairstyle is just to make it easier for him to use a couple of jutsus I taught him, Jiraiya said, trying to shift the Raikage's attention. Oh, found another Namikaze Minato, have you? He looks a lot like him, actually, the Raikage said with his hand on his chin. Damn it, Jiraiya, you never know when to keep your mouth shut, the Hokage thought, glaring his student, making him gulp. During this whole interaction, the Kazekage, aka Orochimaru, was silently hearing them talk and thinking about it. That brat actually looks a lot like him, the Kazekage thought. Orochimaru kept thinking about it when something clicked in his mind. Of course, Uzumaki Naruto. How could I have been so blind? There was only one Uzumaki in this village, Uzumaki Kushina, and everyone knew she was involved with Minato. That also explains why Minato sealed the Kyuubi inside the brat. He used his own son. Raikage isn't all muscle as I thought, Orochimaru thought, chuckling in his mind. Are you planning on taking another apprentice, Raikage asked, breaking the thought of Orochimaru. Maybe, but I don't stay in the village that often. It's a shame I won't be able to pass my tow contract to him, Dry said, wondering if the tow contract would die with him. Oh, which contract does he have? Raikage asked curiously. Should I tell him? It would only strengthen Konoha if the enemies knew of another contract, Dry thought before replying. He has the Fox contract, Dry said. What? There's no Fox contract, Raikage stated. I didn't know it existed too, but there is one. He's the first Fox summoner ever. Apparently the Kyuubi took a liking to him, Dry explained. A major threat, indeed, Orochimaru thought as he planned to find a way to get rid of the brat. Looks like they're starting, the Hokage said before the Raikage could reply, and all shifted their attention towards the arena. With the crowd, Kakashi-sensei, Sakura called out. Yo, he replied. Cutting a little close, weren't you? Asuma said. Trained to the last minute and arriving late? You never changed, Asuma said. I was going to arrive on time, but a black cat crossed my path and we had to walk the way around him, Kakashi said, rubbing the back of his head and laughing. Jeez, Sakura said. I bet Sasuke-kun is way stronger now, she said. I trained him to my best extent during this month, but I don't think he stands a chance against Naruto, Kakashi said, much to the shock of a few genin. But Naruto was the dead last during our whole time at the academy. He just got lucky in the final exam. I don't understand, Ino said. Kakashi looked at her as if she grew a second head. Didn't you see what he did in the preliminaries? He asked rhetorically. It's true, Sakura said. Kakashi's eyes widened to the size of a different place when he heard Sasuke's #1 fangirl agreeing that Sasuke didn't stand a chance. Sasuke fought Lee before the first stage, and even with his Sharingan, he was defeated. And yet Naruto won, he didn't even use the Kyuubi's power, Sakura said. How do you know about that? Kakashi asked, slightly surprised. He told us while Yugito was fighting against Fu, Sakura explained. Kakashi was surprised that Naruto would publicly announce his Jinchuriki, but he must have figured it would be public knowledge any day now. Never thought I would see another one, much less 5 here, Zabuza said. What do you mean 5? Sakura asked. You don't know? Well, there's Naruto, of course, Yugito, Fu, Kumo's Jonin Sensei, and finally that Sam brat Gaara, Zabuza explained. Gaara's one also? Sakura asked, not believing her ears. Yes, I believe he has Ichibi, also known as Shikaku, Kakashi explained. That's why he's so strong, Sakura said in awe. She went from not knowing what Jinchuriki was to knowing that there were 5 of them. You're wrong, Sakura, Kakashi said, gaining her attention. Gaara is strong on his own. He doesn't need his demon to be strong. In fact, I believe he might be better off without it, Kakashi said. What do you mean? Sakura asked. Each Biju has their own personality and personal preferences. Shukaku tends to drive their host crazy, so they might set him free. That's why Gaara is so unstable, Kakashi said, and all the Genin shivered, minus Hinata, who already knew all that. Don't worry, if that ever happens, we would take matters into our own hands, Kakashi said. It's best they know about this so they can get out of the way when it begins, Kakashi thought. Sakura and the rest of the Genin sighed in relief. However, the Jonin and even Zabuza himself knew what would happen, and they were all ready in case Naruto couldn't handle Gaara. Arena. Hajime! Hayate called out and jumped out of the way. Ready, Sasuke? Naruto asked as he got into his Dragon Fist stance. Naruto looked at Sasuke and noticed he didn't move since the match started. He didn't even have a stance. Don't tell me you don't consider me worthy of fighting, Naruto asked. That's right, Sasuke said, pointing at him. I don't even want to waste any time finding some clanless shinobi trash like you, Sasuke said, and Naruto merely dropped his stance. You won't be saying that when I grind your ass to the ground, Naruto said, grinning like an idiot. Just because you're wearing Anbu chestplate armor and you grew your hair out doesn't mean anything against me, Sasuke said. You are nothing but a loser. I bet your mother was a whole... Sasuke didn't get to finish as Naruto blurred from his position and slammed his fist right into Sasuke's face and sent him tumbling to the ground. You can call me what you want, but I won't lie to insult my parents, Naruto said, getting ready to smash his pompous face into the dirt. Sasuke got up and cleaned a bit of blood from his lip. He activated Sharingan and got into his stance to intercept her fist. Touchy, are we? Sasuke smugly asked.
Looks like the brat wants psychological warfare,
Chroma said. Don't worry, I have a few things to hit him back with. I know some stuff about his massacre and his brother if need be, Naruto replied and fought. Looks like you're taking me seriously, Naruto said. I don't need to worry about a doby like you. Only Uchiha can defeat Uchiha, Sasuke simply said. Is that right? Naruto asked rhetorically. Sasuke smirked and went for a few hand seals and shouted, Katon, Gokyaku no Jutsu, great fireball technique. Sasuke sent out a medium-sized fireball towards Naruto, who remained in place and took the full force of it. Sasuke smirked as he watched his attack hit him head-on and burn him in a pile of flames. With his Sharingan activated, he knew Naruto didn't dodge. The smoke cleared and Sasuke immediately dropped his smile, seeing Naruto completely wrapped in his spiky golden hair. Ninpao, Harijizo, Needle Guardian, Naruto said as his hair started to shrink back to his original size. Naruto immediately flashed through hand seals of his own and said, Ninpao, Kibari Senbon, hair needle Senbon. Naruto's hair extended once again and enlarged. Naruto bent slightly forward and sent a barrage of Senbon made of his hair towards Sasuke. Sasuke said, Katon, Gokyaku no Jutsu, great fireball technique, but this time instead of a focused fireball, he transformed it into a constant stream of fire, much like a flamethrower. Sasuke's fire clashed with Naruto's Senbon, vaporizing them, but Sasuke quickly ran out of air in his lungs and was forced to stop his fire. The Senbon kept on coming, and Sasuke was forced to start evasive maneuvers. I can't keep dodging with this speed or I'll tire out quickly. I'll have to retaliate, Sasuke thought. Sasuke took out a few shurikens from his pocket and threw them at Naruto while going for a few hand seals. Shuriken Kagebunshi no Jutsu, Shuriken Shadow Clone. Sasuke said this as shurikens multiplied into dozens upon dozens. Naruto, seeing this, dropped his hair attack and decided to give him a taste of his own medicine. Futon, Repusho, Wind Wave, Naruto said, and clapped his hands together. He channeled chakra to the wind around him, and suddenly a powerful gust of wind emerged from his palms and crashed into the shurikens. The shurikens stopped midair and changed direction before gaining speed and heading towards Sasuke. Sasuke saw the attack incoming and took a kunai to start deflecting them. When he knew he was getting overrun by the amount, which ironically enough it was him that created that many, he jumped to the right to dodge the rest. Why couldn't I copy those jutsus? Sasuke asked in thought, getting pissed off. Naruto saw the scowl on his face and decided to push him a little further. Sad that you couldn't copy these jutsus, Naruto asked. Why the hell can't I copy you? Sasuke asked, losing his temper. You still don't know how to use your eyes, Naruto said, making Sasuke narrow his eyes at him. Your Tsutomu Sharingan can't keep up with my hand seal speed, and because of that, you aren't able to copy my jutsu. Simple as that, Naruto explained. A shame, really, Naruto said sarcastically. How do you know so much about the Sharingan? Sasuke asked, yelling at him. Sasuke. I thought you were smarter than this, Naruto said, grinning. Naruto was picturing Sasuke's face when he showed another pair of Sharingan eyes. What do you mean? Sasuke asked, confused. First, I know a lot about the Sharingan. 2, I said people consider my bloodline the strongest in the world. Third, Kakashi said you knew my bloodline as well as you know yours. What do you get from this? Naruto asked, watching Sasuke's face suddenly light up in realization. You don't mean... Sasuke's ass stuttering for the first time. Yes, I do, Naruto said and closed his eyes. He slowly opened them to show a glowing pair of fully matured Sharingan eyes. You can't be... Sasuke said, watching free Tomoe Sharingan glowing in Adobe's eyes. Kai! Sasuke yelled and flared his chakra, but nothing happened. Kai! Sasuke repeated, but the Sharingan remained. You can't dispel it because it's an illusion. I have the Sharingan. Oh almighty, last Uchiha, Naruto smugly said. How dare you have those eyes? You don't deserve them! Sasuke yelled and ran to Naruto at full speed with his sloppy stance, losing his better judgment due to his anger. Sasuke was getting closer and closer to Naruto, and faster than lightning, Naruto kicked Sasuke hard in the chest and sent him flying to the wall. Sasuke slowly got up, coughing a bit. Now, Sasuke-chan, don't get mad just because my eyes are fully matured and yours aren't, Naruto said, making Sasuke's eyes twitch in annoyance. You know, Sasuke, Naruto said, gaining his attention, I awakened my Sharingan at 5 years old, and at 6 I already had them fully matured, Naruto explained, and Sasuke's eyes almost popped out of their sockets, but Sasuke managed to hold them in place, otherwise he would lose his precious Sharingan. Sasuke boiled. If looks could kill, Naruto would be dust by now. I told you. You weren't as special as you thought. You only activated your precious eyes a couple weeks ago, while I already had a fully matured Sharingan for almost 8 years, Naruto said, grinning and mentally congratulating himself. It felt so good to rub his fully matured eyes on Sasuke's arrogant ass, and if Naruto showed him his EMS, then Sasuke would more likely faint. But he would keep the EMS as an ace. His EMS might not have any powerful direct attacks for now, but it was his ultimate defense. unless I send my enemy into my pocket dimension and let him starve to death. Naruto thought, chuckling, concerning what types of attacks he could use with his Kami, but quickly refocused on the battle at hand. Now, Sasuke, Naruto started with his Sharingan spinning. Let me show you the true power of the Sharingan. Kagebox. Another Uchiha? Raikage said, stupefied. Now I understand when you said he was special. To think you had another Uchiha hidden, Raikage said, chuckling. Another pair of Sharingan eyes? Delicious. A shame I can't risk using his body due to Kyuubi, Orochimaru said, sighing as he watched Naruto's eyes glow in all their power. He would be a much more appropriate vessel than Sasuke-kun. Oh well, Orochimaru sighed, knowing you can't have everything you want, but in the end, Sasuke's Sharingan would suffice. The Hokage laughed. Yes, he's very special and powerful in his own way, the Hokage said. Make me proud, kid, Jiraiya thought, as he watched his godson present his Sharingan to the last Uchiha. With the crowd, Kakashi watched with pride as Naruto unveiled his bloodline, the Sharingan. It's said to be the most powerful bloodline of all capable of seeing chakra, copying any taijutsu, ninjutsu, genjutsu, and giving the user the ability to cast genjutsu with their eyes. But that doesn't even scrape the bottom of the Sharingan's true power, Kakashi thought, as he remembered when Naruto told him about his eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Kakashi frowned when he noticed how Sasuke didn't keep his head cool, but then again, when something related to his clan, Kakashi knew Sasuke would snap. Sharingan? Sakura said. And like Kakashi-sensei, they have 3 black veins, she said in awe. The black veins are called tomoes, and the eyes are fully matured when they have 3, Kakashi explained. Every single Genin was shocked by Hinata and Shino, of course. The elders of Konoha had their jaws on the ground, as well as most civilians. That brat! Now I understand how he could keep up with me, Zabuza commented as he remembered a few spars he had with him. Yes, and I also understand how he could see my moves when I used my ice mirrors on him, Haku said, remembering their battle in the waves, and how Naruto was able to dodge every single senbon she threw at him. Sharingan? One of the Hyuga elders gasped. This changes everything, Hiyashi said. He already had a plan regarding the Uzumaki brat, but now that he knew about the Sharingan, things would have to be arranged differently. Yosh! The flames you use shine brightly on Naruto-kun, Lee yelled. Yes, Lee, and to keep our own flames, we shall do 1,000 laps around Konoha, Guy said. Guy-sensei, Lee. Guy-sensei, Lee. Oh, for a Kami's sake, stop that, Tenten said, as she rained kunai and shuriken on them. Kyuubi, Jinchuriki, and a Sharingan user? I knew blondes were troublesome, Shikamaru said, sighing, and went back to his cloud watching. How can someone awaken them so early? I thought you needed a life or in-death situation to awaken them, Sakura said. All Sasuke's fangirls were well versed in his clan's history and powers. After all, they need to know everything about their love. It's because he's Jinchuriki, Hinata said, gathering their attention. The civilians and a few ignorant shinobi see Naruto as a Kyuubi himself, and when he was young, they would gather up and try to finish the young Daime's job, Hinata said, as they getting frown at understanding. Even though they knew a difference between a kunai and a scroll, it was basic academy stuff. When he was 5 years old, he was getting chased by the mob. From what he told me, one of the pursuers was a Chunin, and he threw kunai towards him. If he didn't awaken his Sharingan, he would have been killed, Hinata explained. I still wonder how he didn't turn out like Gaara, Asuma commented. That was because of Hinata, Kurenai Sabi said, as she looked towards the younger sister of sorts. Me? Hinata asked, confused. Yes, you gave him the thing he needed most. Love, Kurenai Sabi said, proud of Hinata. But Naruto-kun has lots of people that like him, Hinata said, not quite understanding what Kurenai meant. True, he has the Hokage, Iruka, Teuchi, and Ayame. His pervert of a godfather, and Kakashi to some degree, Kurenai said, and Kakashi's sweat dropped. However, you provide him with real, unconditional love. You were his first friend, his best friend, and then his girlfriend. You were there when he was called a monster in front of stores. You were there when he walked alone through the streets. And you were there when he was feeling lonely and lost, Kurenai said, and a few fangirls fawned over the dedication, making Hinata slightly blush. When Kakashi heard that, he started giggling like a perverted fanboy until he heard, Magen, damnation of the pervert. And instantly, Kakashi's world vanished and was replaced with a fiery pit where Kurenai was slowly burning each of Kakashi's Icha books, one at a time. No! My precious! Kakashi yelled, crying anime tears. What's wrong, Kakashi-sensei? Sakura asked as she watched Kakashi drool on the floor, yelling random phrases. Just introducing Kakashi to a personal genjutsu, Kurenai said, in a very sweet voice that even Sakura, who would most likely be safe from a wrath, felt a small shiver. Kurenai broke the genjutsu and Kakashi slowly rose, glaring at Kurenai while hugging his dear book as if it would slip right through his fingers. He rapidly regained his senses. Do you see now why I said Sasuke would lose? Kakashi asked, and Sakura sadly nodded. After finding out Naruto was a Jinchuriki and knowing the life he lived, she was feeling bad for treating him so horribly. Go Sasuke-kun! Sakura yelled from the balcony, cheering for her favorite emo. I guess some habits die hard, Kakashi thought in amusement as he watched the battle unfold at the arena. Naruto and Sasuke were engaged in a brutal display of taijutsu. There was finesse in their style, as each punch and each kick they threw was meant to break bones or at least give the adversary a fair amount of damage and pain. They jumped back from each other, and Naruto was pretty much untouched except for a bit of dust. Sasuke on their hand was supporting scrapes, bruises, and a cracked rib. He's as fast as Lee with his weights, Naruto thought. Damn that loser. How dare he stand against me, an Uchiha, Sasuke thought. I've had enough of this. It's time I showed the difference between the original and a copy, Sasuke snarled at the blonde who raised an eyebrow. I guess he really doesn't know about the pure-blooded Uchihas. Ironic that he called me a copy, Naruto thought, chuckling. Come, Sasuke, let me show you how to use a Sharingan, Naruto said, and both dashed towards each other. Let's see how he deals with this, Naruto said and thought, and his Sharingan started glowing. Both arrived next to each other, and Naruto threw a right hook and it landed perfectly on Sasuke's jaw. Naruto dodged a retaliatory punch before Naruto sent another punch to the cracked rib, making him wince in pain. Taking advantage of his moment of pain, Naruto threw a set of quick punches to his face and stomach and upper thighs. Naruto, seeing Sasuke slightly dazed from the punches, went for a leg sweep, making Sasuke jump over it. Naruto kept his momentum and continued his spin. As Naruto was finishing his spin, he quickly rose up and gave Sasuke a brutal uppercut, and Sasuke was sent to the ground in pain. Sasuke didn't want to be manhandled by someone like Naruto, and refused to give up or stay down. He charged again at Naruto and suffered the same fate. Sasuke threw a punch, Naruto sidestepped at the last second and gave him an elbow to his back that made Sasuke fall to the ground as he lost balance. How are you doing this? Sasuke yelled out. He couldn't understand what was happening. Until moments ago, their taijutsu battle was about even, with Sasuke managing to evade almost all of his attacks. He would never admit that Naruto was better than him. And Sasuke didn't understand how silly Naruto was able to dodge every single hit, and yet every single strike Naruto sent would hit Sasuke dead on. Why should I tell you anything? Naruto replied, which infuriated Sasuke even more if it was possible. Sasuke once again ran towards Naruto, hoping to put the blonde in its proper place. With the crowd. What's happening? Naruto suddenly started dominating the battle, Ino yelled, not believing her precious Sasuke-kun would get transformed into a punching bag. Kakashi was also intrigued what was happening, and he would bet that everyone watching the fight was wondering the same. How could Taijutsu battle become so one-sided so suddenly? Kakashi kept muzzling his head trying to figure it out when he saw Hinata smiling. You know what's happening, don't you? Kakashi asked Hinata, giving his traditional eye smile. Of course I know. He used the same strategy against me a couple times, Hinata explained. Then, you wouldn't mind explaining what exactly Naruto is doing, Kakashi asked. Use your Sharingan and watch the battle carefully, Hinata said, and Kakashi shrugged his shoulders and did what she said. Kakashi lifted his headband to show his own fully matured Sharingan. It took him a couple minutes until he noticed it, but he was capable of figuring it out. That's ingenious, Kakashi said, wondering how anyone never thought of that. Looks like you figured it out, Hinata said. What? Tell us what's happening, Sakura said. Kakashi turned to her and noticed that everyone was staring at him and waiting for an answer. His sweat dropped before beginning. The concept is rather simple to understand, however, to actually use in combat would be more tricky. One of Sharingan's powers is the ability to cast Genjutsu when the enemy crosses eyes with the Sharingan user. Kakashi started as everyone nodded, focusing on his explanation. What Naruto is doing is placing a very small Genjutsu every time they exchange blows. Naruto is making Sasuke see false attacks or even hide his attacks, making Sasuke blind to Naruto's real movements. For instance, Naruto made Sasuke see a right hook when in fact it was a left hook, making Sasuke completely exposed. Another example is making Sasuke see that Naruto was on the defensive when in fact he was preparing to throw a kick, Kakashi explained as best as he could. Everyone stared at Kakashi's explanation and were wowed by Naruto's skill. Even Kurenai herself, a Genjutsu master, didn't think of that, and even if she did, she wouldn't be able to use it in combat because the only way to induce a Genjutsu without hand seals is with a Dojutsu, which Kurenai wasn't gifted with. You are right, that's ingenious. The kid is a genius. I wonder why he never told me about that, Kurenai pointed out, and Kakashi chuckled. There is a reason why they say never to gaze into the eyes of an Uchiha, Kakashi said, chuckling. Maybe I should try to, Kakashi thought. Of course he would ask for Naruto's permission to use it. I wonder what name I would call this variant. Maybe Illusion Fist? Yeah, that's a good name, Kakashi thought. Kakashi-sensei, Sakura called, drawing him out of his thoughts. I thought the Sharingan was able to see for Genjutsu, Sakura stayed confused. It can since I found out what was happening, but if you look at Sasuke, Kakashi said, pointing to the field, you would notice that he is attacking blindly. His judgment is clouded by so much anger and frustration that he doesn't even realize what is happening, Kakashi said, and Sakura found over her Sasuke-kun. Arena. Had enough yet? Naruto asked as he watched Sasuke retreat and make distance between himself and Naruto. I don't know what he's doing, but I can't engage in taijutsu with him anymore. Guess I'll resort to ninjutsu. My chakra reserves are still full, Sasuke thought, as he landed from a quick succession of jumps nursing his cracked rib. I don't know what you're doing, but I don't care. I'll show you the Uchiha's firepower, Sasuke said, smirking. Ninjutsu it is, Naruto said before he flashed through the same hand seals and yelled out, Gaton Gokyaku no Jutsu, great fireball technique. Both expelled a fire stream from their mouths that collided in the middle in battle for dominance. Seconds passed and the clash was still at a standstill. While the battle for power was going on, Naruto poured more chakra into his flames, transforming them into a white-hot flame that completely overran Sasuke and made him jump out of the way, otherwise he would get burned to a crisp. Gaton, Hosenka no Jutsu, Phoenix Fire Technique, Naruto called out, and started sending multiple fireballs, making Sasuke run to dodge almost all of them since he used a kunai and slash for a few. Gaton, Ryuka no Jutsu, Dragon Fire Technique, Naruto said, and instead of multiple fireballs, he sent out a large stream of fire that covered a good portion of the arena. Sasuke saw the incoming fire, and the only thing he could do was jump up, and that's what he did. Naruto expected him to jump up since it was the logical way to safely dodge his attack. He quickly threw a few shuriken and called out, Shuriken Kagebushi no Jutsu, Shuriken Shadow Clone, and the few shurikens multiplied into about 50. Sasuke took out a kunai and started deflecting as many as he could, but he was forced to replace himself with a log, otherwise he would be turned to a pincushion for shurikens. Kagebunshi no Jutsu, Shadow Clone, Naruto called out, and a single clone poofed into existence. They both were standing next to each other before calling out their techniques. Futon, Kami no Uzu, Wind Style Divine Vortex, Naruto's Shadow Clone called out and created a vortex of wind in front of him that blasted towards Sasuke. Katon, Ryuka no Jutsu, Dragon Fire Technique, Naruto called out and released a fire stream that combined with the wind vortex. Fire/wind collaboration jutsu, Divine Blazing Vortex, they both said at the same time. An enormous vortex of hot flames burned its way to Sasuke very quickly. Sasuke dodged to the side but still got scorched on his right arm. The vortex continued its path and drilled a good hole into the arena wall before stopping. How can he have so much chakra throw around juices like it's nothing, Sasuke thought, as he analyzed the blazing inferno that Naruto just unleashed. Kagebox. Such control over the fire element, the Kazekage said. As expected from members of the Uchiha clan, the Raikage agreed. Yes, they do have rather good control over it, however, it isn't Naruto's primary affinity, the Hokage explained. Oh? The Raikage asked, surprised. All members of Uchiha had a rather high affinity towards fire. And what would his primary one be? He asked. Lightning, and he's rather good with it, the Hokage commented. Raikage raised an eyebrow. After all, lightning attacks were his village's strength. Let's see what he has then, Raikage said as he turned his attention towards the arena. So he's skilled in lightning. Let's see, Dari thought. Dari is the only person in his village to wield the legendary black lightning that was taught to him by the Sendaime Raikage and the Yondaime Raikage's father. Arena. I'm tired of playing games with you, Sasuke said and activated his curse mark. Immediately as he activated it, he felt a burst of chakra, strength, and speed inside himself. As the black mark started spraying through his skin, covering almost all his body, he felt like he could take on the world. With this power, I'll grind you to dust! Sasuke said, laughing like the crazy bastard that he was.
It's no use.
Kurama said, shaking his head.
He's bananas.
Kurama said, and Naruto chuckled. I told you not to use that power. It consumes you and blinds you. You turn into nothing more than an anger-driven lunatic, Naruto said, and as he expected, Sasuke rejected him, saying that he was jealous of such power. Sasuke ran forward at the top of his speed, but Naruto was able to predict where it would hit him, so he just tilted his head to the side. Sasuke was about to kick him when Naruto started glowing. Shit, Sasuke thought, as he didn't have much time for Kawarimi. Sasuke just jumped back as far as he could and coiled himself with his arms in front of his face, braced himself. Boom! Naruto's clone exploded and sent Sasuke flying. Sasuke didn't receive much damage, but he had a bit of scorched skin. His curse mark and quick reflexes allowed him to block the attack with little to no damage at all. I should have known he knew that variant of his Shadow Clone Jutsu. Sasuke fought smacking himself for not realizing it. Sasuke was watching Naruto very carefully for any types of moves when Naruto suddenly poofed in smoke, revealing it to be a Kage Bunshin. Right, left, up, Sasuke fought as he searched for said blonde and jumped back just in time to avoid Naruto's hand popping from the ground. You really think I would fall for that? Kakashi-sensei used that during our getting test, Sasuke explained, but Naruto didn't say anything. Both just stared at each other, applying their next move. Raiton, Raikochu, Flash Pillar, Naruto said as he flashed through hand seals. Just as he finished, a very bright light emerged from his hand, blinding Sasuke, who didn't move an inch from his spot, still eyeing Naruto. Sasuke quickly flared his chakra, breaking the Genjutsu in an instant. Genjutsu doesn't work on me, Sasuke boasts about his Sharingan.
His curse mark, kid.
Kurama said, snapping Naruto from his thoughts.
The curse mark put his chakra in constant fluctuation. Only a very powerful Genjutsu will be able to affect him while the mark is active.
Kurama explained and Naruto nodded. Let's try this, Naruto said and eyed Sasuke's eyes. Gokyongyo no Jutsu, Bringer of Darkness, Naruto said, and Sasuke's world went black. Sasuke found himself in a dark place. Sasuke couldn't even see his own hands in front of him. It was pure blindness, the biggest fear of dojutsu users. Kai! Sasuke said, but the technique didn't even waver. Sasuke tried once more, but it failed. Sasuke got pissed and fired as much chakra as he could, and his curse mark glowed. On the third try, Sasuke unleashed a pulse of chakra that cracked the floor and broke the illusion. Sasuke was left panting after releasing that amount of chakra. You are right, Kurama. He even broke an A-rank Genjutsu, Naruto said to Kurama. After all, Snake's gifts were useful for something. I told you, Genjutsu is useless against me, Sasuke said, smirking as he popped a soldier pill to regain some chakra. What to do, Naruto mused and thought. He couldn't pull his big weapons, otherwise he might accidentally kill Sasuke. Something unpredictable, Naruto thought, as he chose what he was going to do against him. The Hyugas will have a field day after this. I pity the old man, Naruto chuckled and thought. Naruto raised his right arm facing Sasuke, who raised an eyebrow in confusion. Naruto smiled and said, Hake Kusho, air palm. Naruto channeled chakra to his right arm and sent an air palm towards Sasuke, who would never expect a Hyuga attack from him, and got hit right in the chest. Naruto's unpredictable attack finally broke Sasuke's cracked rib and made him cough a bit of blood, but he wouldn't surrender just because of that. He channeled more chakra to the curse mark, trying to get as much as he could. Sasuke disappeared from view and appeared right in front of Naruto. Sasuke sent a kick to his chest, but he was surprised when the kick was blocked. Sasuke saw Naruto smiling just before he started spinning in a blue dome of chakra. Kaiten, Naruto said as he spun, blocking Sasuke's kick and sent him flying to the wall. Sasuke should have expected that after seeing Naruto use an air palm, but apparently his arrogance knows no boundaries. Enough, Sasuke roared as he pushed as much chakra as he could towards his cursed seal, making it completely cover his body. Sasuke dashed forward towards Naruto with tremendous speed. Naruto's eyes widened when he brought his hand just in time to block a straight punch to his face that would most likely hurt quite a bit. Man, he picked up speed. I may need to disable my gravity seals, or... Naruto fought as he dodged another fast kick from Sasuke. Chidori Nagashi! Chidori current, Naruto called out, and his body was enveloped by an electric flow that sparked in every direction. As soon as Naruto unleashed the lightning jutsu, Sasuke was shocked and thrown backwards and left twitching. Damn it! I can't fight in close quarters with him, and he didn't even use hand seals for that jutsu, so I can't copy it. Damn that loser, Sasuke thought as he planned another way to approach the blonde without coming in contact with his defensive electric coat. With the crowd. I've never seen that one, Nana said as she activated her Byakugan and watched in awe as the electricity danced and flowed around his body, almost making a protective layer around him. Neither did I. It seems to be derived from a Chidori, Kakashi commented as he watched his brother with pride. You taught him the Chidori? Guy asked, surprised. No, he copied during a mission and asked me for permission to use it. Since he had the Sharingan and Line Affinity, I didn't see why not, and besides, he taught me his own creation, the Kirin Jutsu, Kakashi stated with pride in his brother. What? He taught you that jutsu? Kiba blurted out. He remembered very well the power of that jutsu as it was imprinted very well in his memory. Yes, he did, but I think I might not be able to use it properly. I still can't gather the energy in the atmosphere and hold it without dispersing, Kakashi explained in a bit of shame. I need to train my line affinity further if I want to be able to use that jutsu, he summarized, sighing. Thank God for that, Zabuza said, chuckling. Damn you, Hiyashi, one of the elders said. Did you see what you have done? You expelled your daughter instead of sending her to the branch family, and now an outsider knows our clan's best techniques, he said, glaring at the clan head. If I'm not mistaken, you agreed and even pushed for removal from the clan, Hiyashi calmly replied, and the elder scowled. It matters not now. We must find a way to make sure they don't spread out our techniques, one of the elders said. Kagebox. Well, there you go. A defensive lighting jutsu, the Hokage said, smiling. The Raikage wasn't as happy with the events as he watched them very carefully. That brat! That looks like a bastard version of my lighting armor, the Raikage thought as he analyzed his jutsu to minute detail. He might be able to complete it. At least I'll have another adversary for my speed, the Raikage thought, chuckling. The Raikage was Kumo's most powerful shinobi, and it was a shame he didn't have anyone to compete with. Every single shinobi under his command didn't match up to him. Only his brother Killer Bee stood a chance, and that was because he had the full power of the Hachibi behind him. That's a rather good defensive jutsu. It may not defend against attacks per se, but at least prevents anyone from coming close to the user, Dara explained, as he watched Naruto in a new light. Yes, the Raikage agreed. It looks like you were right, Hokage Dono. He's skilled in light jutsu, and apparently he can use some Hyuga moves, the Raikage commented, and the Hokage nodded his head. You forget that Hyuga Hinata is his girlfriend. He was bound to learn her techniques since she isn't tied to the clan, the Hokage explained. That brat. I wonder what more he can do. Maybe I can convince him to join my village, Orochimaru thought. Yes, let's see what more he can do. You intrigue me to no end, Orochimaru thought, salivating and licking his lips in anticipation. Arena. How are you so strong, Naruto? Sasuke asked, finally realizing that the loser in front of him wasn't so weak as he expected. How did that happen? I trained myself to the brink of exhaustion every single day. I hated him, despised him as much as I could. How can that Adobe be more powerful than me? Sasuke cursed in his thoughts as he took a few deep breaths to calm himself down. You don't even belong to the Uchiha clan, Sasuke said. Thank God for that, Naruto quickly replied. What? Sasuke asked, confused. I awakened my Sharingan at 5 years old, Sasuke, and it was my choice not to go to the Uchiha clan. And I'm glad I didn't, otherwise I might be 7 feet underground right now, Naruto said, sharing the thought as many in the crowd did. Then help me, Sasuke said, swallowing his pride. He would never ask anyone for help, but a fellow Sharingan user could be of use to him, and could definitely help him. Nothing more. I don't follow, Naruto said, confused what Sasuke wanted. Help me kill my brother and avenge our family, and let's start the Uchiha clan once again, Sasuke said to the blonde. No. Don't mix me up with the Uchiha clan and your little vendetta. I have nothing to do with it. My father never belonged to the clan, and neither will I. The Uchihas were a bunch of power-hungry, arrogant fools who did anything for power, and they felt like gods themselves just because of those precious eyes, Naruto said. Naruto remembered very well the Uchihas when they were alive and kicking. They all thought that the rest of Shinobi were below them, and it wouldn't surprise him if that was their demise. Sasuke seethed his teeth and wanted to argue, but he couldn't really do much. It's true his clan wanted power, and it was true that everyone else was below them. Sasuke kept cursing upon its existence until something clicked in his mind. Wait, you said your father wasn't an Uchiha? Sasuke asked. That's right. My father lived in the village since he was 5 years old and never belonged to the Uchiha clan, Naruto said, much to the shock of young Sasuke. My father always hit his Sharingan with a Genjutsu much like I did for the last 8 years or so, Naruto explained. If your father didn't belong to the clan, I bet he was someone weak who didn't have the honor of being considered one, Sasuke smugly said, trying to get under Naruto's skin. Kakashi himself in the sands wanted to go to the arena and shove Raikiri into Sasuke's ass for disrespecting his sensei. My father was a hero that lost his life during the QB attack, so don't respect him, Sasuke, Naruto said seriously. Everyone in the sands could feel a tension rising between both of them and wonder if they would both come out alive. And the reason my father was never in Uchiha was because he was the son of someone who exiled himself from the clan, Naruto said, wondering if Sasuke would figure it out. Oh shit! Naruto was bringing it out, the Hokage thought as he watched the match with interest. This match would affect upon his future much more than he knew. Exiled? But the clan never exiled anyone, Sasuke said, confused as he tried to think about every journal he read about the clan's history. Naruto watched Sasuke rack his brain trying to figure out who exactly left the clan. Sasuke froze as he remembered the one single person that left the clan. The only Sharingan user in the clan's history to ever lead the clan, and Konoha for that matter. You can't be, Sasuke said, involuntarily taking a step back. He died in the Valley of the End, Sasuke said, shivering at the thought. Valley of the End? A few people in the crowd asked, not understanding. Looks like you figured it out, Naruto said. Care to tell the crowd who that person is? Naruto asked. There is only one person to ever leave the clan. Uchiha Madara, Sasuke said, and then gulped, and Naruto smirked, knowing he got into his head. That's right, Sasuke. I'm Uzumaki Naruto, grandson of the legendary Uchiha Madara, Naruto said out loud as his hair flowed with the wind and his Sharingan spun like crazy. Naruto discreetly made a Kagebunshin henge into Madara shimmer into existence behind Naruto. Everyone could see the similarities between the both of them. The hairstyle, the strong jawline, the general shape of the face, the Sharingan, and the aura of power they both seemed to exude. Poor Sasuke didn't know what to think of the supposed Dobi and dead last of the academy. He was the grandson of the most powerful Uchiha to live, Kagebox. What? The Kazekage, aka Orochimaru, yelled out from the balcony, jumping from his seat as he stared at the blonde. Careful, Orochimaru, or you might blow your cover, the Hokage said in his thoughts. Your lust for power and immortality will be your downfall. Unbelievable. To think Madara would have a son and later on a grandson, the Raikage commented. Wait a minute. The Raikage thought as he looked towards the unsurprised Hokage and Jiraiya. You said his hair looked like Madara's. You didn't know how right you were, Dari said, lightly chuckling. You knew about this, didn't you? The Raikage asked, almost rhetorically looking towards Hokage and Jiraiya. I am the Kage of this village, don't you think I would know? The Hokage replied. Though if Naruto didn't tell me, I wouldn't have known, he thought, chuckling to himself. You lied to me, Hokage, don't know. You know very well who his parents are, don't you? The Raikage asked. Perhaps I was economical with the truth. Yes, the Hokage said, and chuckled lightly. I don't suppose he will tell me. The Raikage fished around the Hokage for information. In time, I will make it public knowledge when Naruto chooses it, the Hokage replied. To think that Minato was an Uchiha, and the son of Madara himself. Orochimaru thought as he gritted his teeth. With the blood of the most powerful Uchiha within my grasp, I'll attain my final objective. I can no longer afford to kill the brat, though I wonder what else he's hiding. Orochimaru thought that brat was a gold mine. With the crowd. No way, Sakura gasped. Unbelievable, Ino said. Like I said, troublesome blonde, Shikamaru thought, no longer watching the clouds and focusing on the fight. Apparently the fight itself wasn't troublesome anymore. I think we might have made a mistake, Hiashi said, gulping with a dry throat. At least your daughter picked a worthy husband. If we incorporate the blood of such an Uchiha in our clan, we surely will become the most powerful and influential one in the elemental nations. Even if it was someone like Madara, one of the Hyuga elders said. Yes, Hiashi. It's of vital importance you bring your daughter back to the clan. Without the caged bird seal, she can become the heiress. Offer her that, another elder replied. Do I mean anything other than a powerful heiress? Do they even care about me? Or do they only care about the power of the clan? Hanabi asked with her head lowered as she overheard the elders speaking. That brat, Asuma said, chuckling. Kurenai-sensei, Sakura called out, gaining her attention. Did you know he was Madara's grandson, she asked. No, Sakura, I didn't know, Kurenai replied and turned towards Hinata. Did you know Hinata? Kurenai asked. Of course, Kurenai-sensei, we know everything about each other, Hinata replied, and Kakashi broke out in a fit of giggles, but a glare from Kurenai silenced him quickly enough. I think only Hokage, Jiraiya, Kakashi, and I know his true heritage, Hinata explained. Jiraiya? Sakura asked. Jiraiya the Toad Sage is his godfather, Hinata replied, and Sakura's jaw hit the floor. Is he related to any other powerful shinobi? Sakura asked, not believing the so-called Dobi was the grandson of one of the most powerful shinobi to ever live, and the godson of one of the Sanins. If only you knew, Hinata replied and thought. In time, he will reveal himself to the world, Hinata replied. Poor Uchiha, Zabuza said, chuckling, and many agreed. It looked like Sasuke's fate was sealed. The arena. Sasuke broke from his thoughts. He wouldn't let him have his way with him. I don't care who you are. I'll defeat you right here, Sasuke spat. You're a hypocrite, Sasuke. You say you don't care who I am, and yet you boast about being Uchiha, Naruto said, and both prepared to end their battle. Shut up, Sasuke yelled out with his curse mark flaring even more. I'm ending this right now, Sasuke said. Ox, rabbit, monkey, dragon, rat, bird, ox, snake, dog, tiger, monkey. Sasuke went through the hand seals and placed his hand down with his other gripping the wrist. Lightning could be seen forming in his palm. Suddenly the lightning chakra spiked and sounded like 1,000 birds chirping. With the crowd. Wow, so that's Chidori, Sakura said in awe. That's the power of the Uchiha clan, Sakura said, entering her usual fangirl style. So you taught him the Chidori, Guy asked. Yes, Sasuke is very similar to me and Naruto himself. They both have the Sharingan and both have light affinities, Kakashi explained. You don't seem worried, Kakashi-sensei, Ino said. That's because Naruto knows that technique, and the jutsu used earlier was based on that one, but I don't know if he's going to use it or anything else, Kakashi explained. Arena. So Kakashi-sensei taught you Chidori, Naruto said as he watched the Chidori spark in Sasuke's hand. That was a risk on his part. You are too unstable, Naruto said. Shut up, Sasuke yelled as he dashed towards Naruto intending to end his life once and for all. I always wondered how the Rasengan would hold up against the Chidori. Let's try it, Naruto thought, as he ran towards Sasuke as well. Everyone in the audience could hear a swirling sound as the chakra started spinning in Naruto's hand. Moments later, it emerged in his hand, a small blue spear, and many knew what it was. Chidori! Rasengan! Both attacks clashed, and the ground shook from the energy being released. Everyone in the audience stared in awe at the power of both Genins. The attacks were fighting for supremacy. Sparkles of pure electricity were ripping the ground apart. Some of the people had to turn away from the bright light being emitted from the clash. The clash suddenly ended as both were propelled backwards through the air. Sasuke stumbled into the ground while Naruto regained his balance mid-air and landed on the ground, but hard enough for it to crack. Looks like the Rasengan and Chidori are about even, Naruto said, as he eyed the results of their clash. Naruto looked at Sasuke, who was getting back up. He looked like he was exhausted. He was breathing hard, and his arm had a couple cuts and bruises that were bleeding. I can't clash against that jutsu since I can only do it twice a day, Sasuke thought as his breathing was labored. Damn that, Sasuke thought, but was interrupted when Naruto said, Loser. What? They both said at the same time. Are you? Sasuke said. Read my mind, Naruto completed, and Sasuke watched Naruto's Sharingan glow and start spinning. I have looked into your future, and it's defeat, Naruto said, making Sasuke boil. Sasuke flashed through the same hand seals, completely discarding the fact he could only do it one more time. Looks like it'll be his last attack. His chakra reserves are almost empty, Naruto thought as he watched Sasuke with his Sharingan. Both ran forward and intended to clash one final time. However, Naruto had a different idea. To any spectator, the clash that was about to ensue was pretty much like the previous one, with Sasuke wielding Chidori and Naruto Rasengan. However, the moment they were about to clash, Naruto activates EMS without letting Sasuke see it, otherwise he would fuss about it, and face right through Sasuke, who still has Chidori active. What the hell is he? Were Sasuke's thoughts as he watched Naruto pass right through him with his Chidori activated. It's like Naruto turned to water and Sasuke flew right through it. The moment they separated, Naruto quickly turned back and slammed his Rasengan into Sasuke's back, and he was sent flying to the wall and ended in the ground barely awake. How can you be so strong? Sasuke barely asked as he noticed the blonde approaching him. Because I fight to protect. I know what you fight for, Sasuke, Naruto said, pausing. You fight for vengeance, and you train in order to be strong enough to kill your brother, Naruto said, and watched Sasuke glare at him before continuing. But if you want to truly be strong, then train, fight, and die for your precious people. Drop your attitude and find someone to care for, and then your true strength will be revealed, Naruto concluded, and watched Sasuke close his eyes and embrace his sweet unconsciousness. Hayate quickly hurried towards Sasuke and poked him with a stick. Sasuke made no sounds as he was completely out. Medics! Hayate yelled, and immediately a couple of medics entered the arena and placed Sasuke in a stretcher to be brought to the infirmary. Winner by knockout, Uzumaki Naruto, Hayate called out, smiling at the blonde brat. He never liked Uchiha much. Hayate declared the winner, and an intense silence followed afterwards. Not even birds could be heard as Sasuke was being carried to the infirmary. Naruto left the arena and was walking towards the balcony when the crowd suddenly erupted in cheers, bringing a small smile to our blonde. There will be a 30-minute break until the next round begins, Hayate explained. Kage Box. The will of fire burns brightly in him. I only wish you were here to see him, Minato, Hokage sadly thought. Not an apprentice, my ass. If I'm not mistaken, that was Rasengan, the Raikage said. Well, I did teach him a few things, Rai said, chuckling a bit nervously and rubbing the back of his head. To see it getting used in that jutsu? Amazing, the Kazekage commented. That Orochimaru must be interested in Naruto since he has a Sharingan as well. So much greed, the Hokage thought in shame. Your thoughts on the match and the promotions? The Hokage said. Naruto easily deserves tuning rank. He stayed calm and came up with different strategies to counter the opponent's strengths. Besides, he's strong on his own, the Raikage said, and the Kazekage agreed with the Raikage's reasoning. Tuning it is. What about Sasuke, the Hokage asked. He doesn't deserve the tuning rank. Even though he has the strength, he was unable to keep his head cool, and I seem to agree with the Uzumaki. He seems a bit unstable, the Kazekage explained. If Sasuke believes the village is holding him back, it will be another reason for him to join me, Orochimaru thought. I agree. Even though there were some revelations, he should have tried to keep his head calm and focused, the Raikage agreed, and eyeing the Hokage and Jiraiya. It's decided then, the Hokage said. With the crowd, I didn't know Naruto was that talented, Izumo said. Yes, who would have thought that the brat that we used to see being chased by the Anbu was that good, Kotetsu said. At this rate, he'll be joined before us, Izumo said, chuckling. Everyone watched the blonde make his way up the stands as he approached his fellow friends and senseis. Naruto realized that they were all staring at him and asked, "Is there something on my face?" Is that all I have to say after what you told everyone? Ino screeched out. It was a secret for a reason, and you know, what's the big deal? Naruto said, shrugging them off. Big deal? You're the grandson of Uchiha Madara and you have a Sharingan, Ino said out loud, having her arms out. Yes, so I had to work hard to be this strong. The Sharingan helped out, but I had to train as well, Naruto said. And besides, having a strong family doesn't make you strong, Naruto explained. Congratulations, Naruto-kun, Hinata said, and pecked his cheek, making him rub the back of his head. Thanks, Hinata, Naruto replied, hugging her. Keep up the good work, Brad. I've already made good money with you, Sawase said, grinning. Were the odds against me that bad, yes? 20-1. Everyone came here to see Uchiha win, Sawase said, laughing at the crowd until he realized something. Well, the Uchiha did win, Sawase said, pointing to him. At least now everyone knows, and I don't have to hide anymore, Naruto said. Thank you, Naruto, Sakura said. She was happy that Naruto didn't cripple or hurt Sasuke too much. He needed a good reality check. He thought he was coming on Earth because of those eyes, and who better than another one to show him, Naruto said. And that's the end of chapter 20. Well, this is a long chapter to go through, but we're finally at the end of this chapter, and it was a pretty good chapter in my opinion, especially with how they wrote the Naruto versus Sasuke fight. And now we can move on to chapter 21, round 2, water versus fire. Here we go. Crowd, you ready for your match, Hinata? Naruto asked. Of course, she replied, kissing him much to the jealousy of the other females who were now interested in said blonde. Who does she think she is? Naruto-kun will be mine. Naruto-kun. Looks like you got some competition, Naruto said, chuckling while holding her. Let them come. I'll juke in their butts to the ground, Hinata said, loud enough so they could hear. No one would take her Naruto-kun away. You know I'm kidding. You are the only one for me, Naruto said, squeezing the life out of her. Aww, the newly created fangirl club said. How are your chakra levels? Naruto asked Hinata. I'm about full. I didn't spend much against Neji, Hinata replied. She sensed her chakra levels and estimated she was about 99% full since she didn't use any heavy chakra demanding jutsus besides the Kaiden, and that was only momentarily. Good, Naruto said, and leaned forward and whispered to her ear. Try to end the battle quickly. You can't waste much chakra since you know what will happen. Don't worry, Naruto-kun. I have soldier pills if need be, she replied, and he nodded. Naruto never really ran out of chakra because if he did, Kurama would simply replenish him and he would be back on his feet. It was one of the reasons Hinata was able to train with him all day long during the early days. Thanks to Kurama, he would simply replenish Hinata's chakra reserves so she could go on. In time, her chakra reserves increased and she no longer needed that to keep up with Naruto. Are you ready, kitten? Naruto asked Yugito in a mocking tone. Shut up, Whiskers, she replied, and he laughed. Hey, I have a question, Yugito asked. Shoot, Naruto said. Why did you hide your Sharingan and powers? Yugito asked, not understanding. Jinchuriki were treated badly no matter where they grew up. She didn't understand why he would hide his strength and be mocked even more. Actually, that's very simple. Most of the civilians treated me as a demon and tried to hurt me and kill me on several occasions, Naruto said, and got gas from his fellow classmates. What do you think they would do if they saw me as a smart demon? Naruto asked rhetorically. Yugito nodded, knowing very well what that life was like. She wasn't physically abusing Kumo, but the glares and words of hate were always there. Her dream was to become like her big brother Killer Bee. Killer Bee is treated as a hero by their people, and they all know he's Jinchuriki. I guess she just needs to prove her worth to them. About the Sharingan, I never really had a choice. I awakened it when I was 5, so I could have gone to the Uchiha clan, however, they would have treated me as a weapon and used me for their personal goals. And after the Uchiha massacre, if I came forward with the Sharingan, they would think I killed the Uchihas and sold their eyes for me, Naruto explained. I guess Yugito said, showing off. People are blinded by their hate, but one day we shall rise above that, Naruto said with a small smile, as he inspired another soul into the right path. No offense, little kitten, Zabuza said, making Yugito's eye twitch in annoyance and Naruto stifle a chuckle. But Hinata, he said, looking at her, you better win this, as I have money riding on you, Zabuza said, making her raise an eyebrow. Just in whom else have you placed best, Naruto asked. Just you and Hinata, since I know very well these wet behind the ears gang don't stand a chance against you, Zabuza said, laughing, while counting a pack of bills in his hands. I take offense to that, Yugito replied, but Zabuza shrugged her off. How are the odds for our next match, Naruto asked. We are still on break, so they might change, but I guess they were impressed with both of you. Yugito and Hinata have both equal odds since Hinata defeated the Hyuga Prodigy, and you, Zabuza said, pointing to Naruto, have slightly lower odds against Gaara since he's hailed as undefeatable and he's the son of Yondaime Kazekage, Zabuza said. Ironic, Naruto muttered. Gaara and me, we are both Jinchurikis and both sons of Yondaime of our villages, Naruto fought. What? Zabuza asked, not getting what Naruto said. Nothing, Naruto replied, but Hinata got the meaning from that single word. By the way, Naruto, Ino said, getting his attention. Who is your father? Ino asked, as if it was a normal question. Maybe Naruto would not have stifled at such a random question, but not anymore. One day I will tell you, but not today, Naruto said. Why not? Ino asked, whining. Because my father was a very powerful man and had many enemies that I would like to keep away for now, but one day I will take my family name, Naruto said, smiling. You will take the Uchiha name, Ino asked? No, I don't want to be mixed up with them. I may have Uchiha blood and I respect my grandfather, but I won't take that name, Naruto replied. Why not? The Uchihas are respected and feared everywhere, even though there is only Sasuke left and you, Ino said. Because I never liked their attitude, to put it simply. The Uchihas were in fear, true, but they were also known for their arrogance and willingness to do anything for power, Naruto said. When I choose my clan name, it will be either my father's name or my mother's name, Naruto explained. Wait, you mean Uzumaki isn't your real name? Ino asked, not believing her ears. Yes, my real clan name was hidden to protect me, so I was named after my great-grandmother, who was an Uzumaki, Naruto replied. He really did have one hell of a lineage. Wow, Ino said. They must have been great people, Ino said in awe. The Sandaime did so much to hide Naruto's true family, so they must have been very important and strong. They were, Naruto replied in a low voice. He wondered what it would have been like to grow up with his parents, having breakfast with them when he woke up, having them buy him ramen, walking with them through the streets, being tucked into bed, and making them proud of him. Enough with the depressing mood. If you keep this up, you might start brewing like the Uchiha, Zabuza said, making Naruto snap from his thoughts and laugh. The break is now over. We will now start round 2 of the Chunin exams finals, Hayate yelled from the arena. The crowd quieted down and focused on the proctor. Ni Yugito and Hyuga Hinata, please make your way to the arena, Hayate called out. Good luck, Naruto said and pecked her cheek. Do I get good luck as well? Yugito asked in teasing tone. Nope, Naruto simply replied, making Yugito's sweat drop. Bad Whisker, she replied, and both of them made their way to the arena to begin their match. Kage Box. Up in the Kage Box, the Kages were making small talk while they waited for round 2 to begin. So, Kazekage started. Who do you think will win the next match? Kazekage asked, trying to sound interested when he really wanted to see Naruto match against Gaara. My girl, of course, Raikage said quickly. The Hokage chuckled but replied, I have faith in Hinata-chan. What about you, Kazekage Dono? The Hokage asked. I have to agree with the Raikage. She might be good, but Yugito is a Jinchuriki who can use her Biju. Even though the Hyuga girl seems to have elemental advantage, that won't help her if Yugito uses her Biju, the Kazekage explained his point of view. We will see, though, Kage said. They kept talking when Anbu appeared in the Kage Box through Shunshin and went to whisper in the Hokage's ear. How is everything? The Hokage asked. Everything's prepared. The clan heads are prepared and will rendezvous at their compound to organize their forces. The defensive seals are ready and Chunin were assigned to power them up, and there are already shinobi ready to evacuate civilians, Hokage-sama, the Anbu said, and the Hokage nodded. Everything alright, Hokage Dono? The Raikage asked. It was just a report on Hyuga Neji, Fu, and Uchiha Sasuke. They are all awake but recovering from their matches, Hokage replied smoothly. He didn't tell the Raikage about the incoming invasion because he didn't know which side he would take, and that could prove catastrophic. Looks like the match is about to begin, Hokage said, and they focused their attention on the arena. Ni Yugito versus Hyuga Hinata. Both fighters ready? Hayate asked, and they both nodded. Hajime! Hayate called out and jumped back. Be careful, kid. She might look weak, but I sense she isn't, Nibi said, and Yugito nodded. They both dashed towards each other and started exchanging attacks. Hinata quickly found out that Yugito's abnormal flexibility allowed her to dodge her Juken strikes rather well. Yugito ran towards her and jumped in the air and performed a drop kick. Hinata placed her arms above her head in an X formation and blocked the kick. Hinata quickly grabbed her foot and slammed her to the ground and jumped back to give Yugito some space. Yugito easily got up and brushed the dirt off her clothes before dashing once again towards Hinata. Hinata fell into her defensive stance as Yugito approached her and started to attack. Yugito channeled Nimi's chakra to her nails in her hands and feet and elongated a couple inches, turning them into very sharp weapons like senbones. Yugito tried a horizontal slash, but Hinata couldn't dodge in time with her gravity skills activated and was forced to perform a kaiten to block the attack. Yugito, seeing the kaiten, jumped back. Hinata channeled chakra to her sword steels and her daggers poofed to life. They were like Asuma's trench knives made of conductive chakra metal, and they were 7-inch long blades. Hinata quickly channeled wind chakra for them and rushed Yugito. They both exchanged blows, but Hinata's chakra-enhanced blades quickly chopped through Yugito's fingernails like a hot knife through butter. Yugito picked up a kunai and channeled Raiten chakra through them, but they were also overpowered by Hinata's wind chakra, leaving Yugito without choice but to dodge the swings. Yugito flipped back and tried to kick Hinata's chin, but Hinata jumped back and backflipped, laying graciously on her feet a couple of feet away from Yugito. Hinata saw that she clearly had the advantage with weapons since Yugito couldn't block Hinata's daggers with anything. Hinata quickly sealed the daggers back in her seals and took her Juken stance. Yugito dashed towards her and tried a right hook. Hinata sidestepped it, and quickly and graciously she closed all of Yugito's chakra points of her right arm, making it completely limp. Feeling her right arm completely useless, Yugito jumped back to gain some distance. Damn, I really can't engage in taijutsu against Hyugas, Yugito thought. Normally after seeing this, Hinata would ask her to surrender, but she knew her Juken was pretty much useless against Jinchuriki. Don't think you won just because of this, Yugito says, smirking even after her having a useless arm. I knew he can open chakra points again by channeling Nibi's chakra, but it's still very painful, Hinata explained as she watched with her Byakugan red chakra flood her right arm and forcefully open the chakra points. Yugito winced and flexed her arm to get rid of the stiffness and numb the pain. She quickly forgot taijutsu and decided to focus solely on ninjutsu because her being Jinchuriki made genjutsu pretty difficult for her to learn. She envied Naruto and Sakura due to his Sharingan being able to cast illusions very easily. Gaton, Gyaku no Jutsu, great fireball technique, Yugito called out and sent a medium fireball towards Hinata. Hinata easily jumped to the side to avoid them and flashed through hand seals and said, Suiton, Teppodama, water bullet. Hinata sent multiple small water bullets towards Yugito, who managed to avoid them all. Suiton, Baku si Shoha, great exploding water wave. Hinata pumped her chest full of chakra and exploded a giant wave of water. Hinata rose from the ground from the amount of water being released and rode the wave that came crashing on Yugito, leaving the poor cat drenched. I told her to preserve chakra, and she pulls an S-rank jutsu, Naruto said, shaking his head. I guess I'll refill her when she comes back, Naruto thought. Hinata took a deep breath to regain her breathing after changing the battlefield to her advantage. Both Yugito and Hinata eyed each other, and they stood above the water that was a couple inches high and covered the entire arena ground. Hinata decided to break the tension and began with Mizu Shuriken no Jutsu, Water Shuriken. Hinata said that, and the water rose in the air and took the form of shurikens who gained speed and went towards Yugito, who blocked all of them with a kunai. I'll give her something she can't block, Hinata thought, before going through hand seals and saying, Sensato Suisho, 1,000 flying water needles of death, and sent 1,000 water senbones towards Yugito, who couldn't dodge them all. Katon, Cayenne Senpu, Flame Vortex, Yugito called out, and fire started spinning in front of her, suddenly exploding towards the incoming senbone, completely vaporizing them. Katon, Ao Gogyaku no Jutsu, Great Blue Fireball Technique, Yugito called out, and using Nibi's chakra, sent a massive fireball towards Hinata, who couldn't dodge in time. Suiton, Shujin Heki, Water Wall, Hinata called out and enveloped herself in water to block the fireball. The blue fireball collided with the water wall and erupted a cloud of steam that covered the center of the arena, blocking the vision of the crowd. I can't compete in ninjutsu against Jinchuriki. I'm only stalling this match, Hinata thought, as the cloud of steam began to disperse and showed Hinata unharmed and Yugito facing her a couple feet away. Hinata suddenly came up with the perfect plan. She placed her right arm making a half tiger spin while holding her left arm vertically. Kirigaku no Jutsu, Hinata called out, and the entire arena was covered in a mist that blocked the vision of everyone. Hinata could see rather well due to her Byakugan, and Yugito being Jinchuriki, she was like a candle during the night. Hinata knew this jutsu from the training she did in Suiton Jutsu with Zabuza. This can't be good, Yugito said to herself as she tried to relax her senses and find where her adversary was. Damn, I can't sense her anywhere, Yugito thought as she tried to feel anyone around her, but she only could sense a proctor. She saw a small shimmer of light before jumping to the right and avoid a volley of shuriken that were thrown by Hinata. The shurikens were concealed by the mist, and even Yugito with enhanced sense couldn't hear or see them. What do I do to clear this mess? Yuto wondered, when she felt a very sharp pain from her shoulders and legs. She looked at her body and saw 4 senbones sticking out. Where did that come from? Yuto thought until realization hit her. The shurikens were only a distraction. I need to find her soon, Yuto thought, wrecking her brain, trying to find some strategy to counter this mist. She was thinking, but she was starting to feel very weak and sleepy. She removed the senbone from her shoulder and smelled its tip, detecting a faint metallic smell. Poison, Yuto concluded. Nibi, I've been poisoned, Yuto said to her partner. Already on it. It looks like a sleeping poison, but it seems highly potent, and she hit a blood vessel with those senbone injecting directly into the bloodstream. Those eyes are very dangerous in the middle of this mist. You need to find a way out of this, Nibi replied as she overpowered a bit of her chakra into Yuto to flush out the drug. I know, but what can I do? I'm not a futon user, so I can't clear the mist, Yuto thought. They're both trying to find ways to take away Hinata's advantage. To be able to use a Jukin, one needs a very good chakra control, which can be applied to self by suppressing your own chakra signature. Yuto sensed a presence behind her, and extending her nails, she quickly ducked and turned around and slashed through Hinata's chest until she dispelled into water. Mizu Bunshin? Water clone? Yuto asked, surprised by that, and turned just in time to see Hinata speeding towards her through the mist. I am not attempting to pronounce that. 8 Sharingan, 128 palms, Hinata called out as she got in her stance. 2 palms, 4 palms, 8 palms, 6 palms, 32 palms, 64 palms, 128 palms, Hinata finally said, and Yuto was thrown backwards, coughing with half her chakra network closed. Normally this would have been enough to knock out anyone but not Jinchuriki. Damn, Yuto said in her mind as she was having trouble breathing. I told you to be careful, Nibi said. Yeah, just give me chakra so I can win this, Yuto said. If it wasn't for me, you would have already lost, Nibi flatly said, but gave her chakra anyway. Yuto was enveloped in a red chakra cloak with 2 tails swinging in the back. Yuto let out a roar that completely cleared the mist, showing everyone Yuto was on all fours with blue-slitted eyes and her nails elongated. She was covered in a red chakra cloak with 2 tails swinging. Yuto seemingly disappeared from view, but Hinata could easily track her thanks to Byakugan. She blocked a straight punch from her and cruelly deactivated her gravity seal so she could match Yuto's newfound speed. I need to use it and end this, Hinata thought as she prepared to permanently end this fight. They were both still engaged in a taijutsu fight at high speeds when Hinata went for a leg sweep, making Yuto jump up. Hinata seeing Yuto in the air and unable to properly maneuver, she quickly rose up. With her Byakugan, she found where Yuto's seal was placed on her body and was in the stomach like Naruto. She channeled chakra to her fingers until they started glowing and showing kanji in them. Kugyo Fuin, 5-element seal, Hinata called out and slammed her right hand on Yuto, applying a 5-element suppression seal above Yuto's main seal, completely cutting off her access to Nibi's chakra. Yuki to Nibi tried to say, but couldn't as she was completely cut off from Yuto, making her lose the cloak. Hinata took advantage of Yuto's weakened state from forcibly losing chakra cloak and got into her stance and said, I am definitely not pronouncing this. 8 Sharingan, 361 palms, and started attacking her chakra points so she couldn't open them now. 2 palms, 4 palms, 8 palms, 16 palms, 32 palms, 64 palms, 120 palms, 256 palms, 361 palms, Hinata said, and finished her attack, completely closing Yuto's chakra network and making her fall to the ground unconscious. Hinata took a few deep breaths and raised her head towards the proctor. Winner by knockout, Hyuga Hinata, I had to call out, and Hinata started making her way towards the crowd, slowly regaining her breath. With the crowd, which look at that, Kakashi said as he watched Hinata place a 5-element seal to disable her Bijuu and win the match. What did she do? Sakura asked, obviously not knowing what happened. She placed a seal over Yuto's main one to block her ability to use Nibi's chakra, Kakashi explained. Wow, Sakura said. She and everyone else were in awe as they watched the game win against Jinchuriki using its Bijuu. Obviously it wasn't full power, otherwise Hinata wouldn't have stood a chance with that particular seal. I guess Naruto must have taught her that since she knew she might be facing Jinchuriki since there were 4 in this exam, Kakashi said, looking towards Naruto who nodded. Hinata finally made her way to the stands and joined her friends and senseis. That was awesome, Hinata! You kicked her ass, Kiba yelled. Thanks, Kiba, Hinata replied, and then looked at Naruto who knew what was coming. So, you need a refill, right? Naruto asked. Yes, my chakra levels are slightly above half, Hinata said. Naruto switched to Kurama. His eyes became more blood red and slitted, his whisker marks more pronounced, and his fangs increased in length and sharpness.
You know what to do,
Kurama said, and Naruto picked her hand and held her while Kurama transferred chakra to her. It was a matter of seconds before Hinata was back to full. Who's that? Asked fearfully. That voice wasn't Naruto's. The Kyuubi. He was refilling Hinata's chakra reserves for her next fight, Naruto explained. He can use your body, Sakura asked. Well, he's inside of me, so we can switch anytime I want, Naruto asked, and Sakura gulped dryly. Scary, Sakura said, shivering from the thought. By the way, Naruto-kun, I figured you're another Taijutsu style besides Juken, Hinata said. What brought this up, Naruto asked. My match against Yugito. My Juken was pretty much useless until I disabled her Biju Chakra, and my Taijutsu style is again useless if the enemy can form some protective shell around their bodies. I need something that gives real damage, like the Goken, Strong Fist, but I'll have to train my strength, Hinata explained. Careful what you say, Naruto whispered to her. Why? Hinata asked, understanding. If you announce that the Juken style is flawed, Hiyashi might haunt your dreams, Naruto said, trying not to laugh. That's true, Hinata said, laughing. I'm just picturing his stoic face hanging in the air like a ghost, she said, making him chuckle. All kidding aside, I think I know what you want. We will talk about after exams, Naruto explained, and she nodded. I'm up against Gaara next, Naruto said. I'll enjoy spilling your blood, Uchiha. Gaara said with a twisted smile that made his brother step away from him. You only care about killing, Naruto said, shaking his head. I will prove you wrong when we face each other, Naruto said. I will be waiting to prove my existence, Gaara emotionlessly said. Kagebox. I didn't expect that, Raikage said when he watched Hinata steal Yugito's Biju Chakra. Naruto is talented with seals, so he must have taught her that, the Hokage said. I suppose, Raikage said, ashamed that none of his getting would win the tuning exams. Not that it would even reach the finals, but he did not know that. You have talented getting this year, Hokage don't know, the Kazekage said. Yes, but you do as well. We both have 2 getting each competing in the semifinals, Hokage replied. Yes, but I don't think my Tamari can win against the Hyuga girl. However, I am confident that Gaara will win against the blonde brat, even if he has a Sharingan, the Kazekage said. Like I said, I have faith in them. They are very talented young shinobi, Hokage said. Due to this being a double bracket tournament, we will have Uzumaki Naruto versus Sabaku no Gaara and Sabaku no Tamari versus Hyuga Nanda for the semifinals, Hayate explained. Uzumaki Naruto and Sabaku no Gaara, please make your way to the arena so we can begin the semifinals, Hayate called out, and they both Shunshin to the arena. Gaara uses sand and Naruto uses lion Shunshin. Both fires ready, Hayate asked, and they both nodded. Hajime! And that is the end of chapter 21. And that was a really good chapter in my opinion. I really liked the Yugito versus Hinata fight. I liked how it was written. And now we can move on to the last chapter of this video. I initially want to do chapters 20 for 23, but yeah, that's going to be kind of impossible because of how long chapter 23 is. So let's move on to chapter 22, Clash of Titans. Arena. Naruto and Gaara were staying a few feet from each other. Each one of them had emotionless faces as they eyed and studied their opponent. The proctor had already started the match, but neither of them moved, not wanting to make any mistakes. Even though Gaara knew that his sand would defend him, he somehow knew that Naruto was strong. Gaara's mother, aka the Ichibi or Shikaku, had warned Gaara to be careful around Naruto since he also was Jinchuriki, and had the QB the strongest of the 9 Biju. The silence of the arena was uncomfortable. There was no sound, no birds, no wind. The crowd itself was silently watching what was the most anticipated match since the first round.
Want help?
Kurama asked. No, I want to do this on my own. I just need to refill. Should I go empty? Naruto replied, making Kurama smirk at the devotion of his vessel and proving that he can be strong alone. Suddenly a small breeze lifted up and signaled the start of the match. Gaara's sand slowly started leaving his gore on his back and started dancing around him. Naruto saw his sand started to move and jumped back to gain some distance. Both of them were ready for their fight. Gaara already had his sand outside ready to crush our fellow blonde, and Naruto was watching it very carefully with his Sharingan blazing. Gaara suddenly clutched his head in pain, making Naruto raise an eyebrow twice. Suddenly Gaara would feel pain. It must be the Ichibi, Naruto thought as he watched Gaara clutch his head and trying to relieve his pain as best as he could. Just as it began, the pain suddenly stopped, and Gaara slowly raised his head to show Naruto his face hungry for blood. Prove my existence, Uzumaki! Gaara shouted and sent forth a wave of sand towards Naruto intending to crush him instantly. Naruto started evasive maneuvers as he watched the sand splitting into various ways trying to outflank Naruto. However, Naruto's speed coupled with his Sharingan made sure Naruto could predict the path of each wave, making sure he would never be caught. It's a shame they removed the water from the previous match. Since I don't have affinity towards water, I can't use high-ranking moves without a water source nearby, Naruto thought as he kept dodging the sand. Let's see if his sand armor can keep up with me, Naruto thought as he disappeared in a burst of speed. Naruto quickly outmaneuvered the sand and slipped through it by ducking and sliding beneath the sand and delivered a good right hook into Gaara, sending him tumbling to the ground. Naruto watched as the sand that he used to attack quickly rushed to Gaara to absorb his impact. Naruto also noticed that the sand armor around Gaara's body itself was barely cracked and had already reformed. That thing is hard, Naruto thought, as he analyzed in minute detail Gaara's sand armor trying to find the best weakness. If he had the water, he would drench his sand, making it slower and more chakra demanding. However, that wasn't the case. Naruto picked up a few shuriken and threw them at Gaara from multiple angles, but the sand quickly formed a round shell around him and blocked all of them. It seems that his sand is automatic since some of the shuriken went to blind spots that Gaara couldn't see. Naruto thought as he watched Gaara drop his protective shield, making the shurikens fall to the floor. Let's test his strength, Naruto thought as he was about to pull his big guns to gradually try to penetrate his ultimate defense. Right on, Shuriken Kage Bunchi no Jutsu, Lightning Style, Shuriken Shadow Clone, Naruto said, and he threw a single shuriken towards Gaara and they multiplied into dozens. However, differently from other times, these shurikens were charged with right on chakra, and since lightning was thrown against earth, it would work. Gaara brought his sand to block the shuriken, but was surprised when they penetrated deeply in the sand and had reinforced the wall of the sand to keep shurikens from hitting them. If they were made with chakra metal, they would have penetrated cleanly through his defenses, Naruto thought. Gaara quickly dropped the shuriken into the ground and said, "Sand bullets," and sent multiple small round spears made of sand to Naruto at high speeds. Gaton, Gokyaku no Jutsu, great fireball technique, Naruto said, and expelled a fireball towards the incoming sand bullets, completely disintegrating them. Gaton, Ryuka no Jutsu, dragon fire technique, Naruto said, and he flashed through hand seals and sent a stream of fire towards Gaara, who used a wall of sand to shield the flames. The stream of fire collided with the sand wall, and the heat generated from the clash transformed the sand into crystal glass, effectively disabling the sand that was used to block Naruto's attack. Would you look at that? How come I didn't think of that, Naruto thought before he said to Gaara, Chemistry 101, what happens when you superheat sand? Gaara's eyes twitched at the comment but ignored it as he felt his mother yelling with excitement in his head as he tried to spill Naruto's blood to prove his existence. Gaara sent his sand towards Naruto once again. I wonder what he can do once his sand is gone, Naruto thought as he thought about it. Since Gaara always carried that gourd with him, he should be limited to the amount of sand that's in the gourd. So Naruto could use his fire cell to disintegrate or turn his sand into glass until he runs out. Naruto once again disappeared in a show of speed and reappeared right behind Gaara, surprised and making his sand unable to come to his defense. Right on, Raiken Legging Fist, Naruto called out. Naruto channeled right chakra to his hand and delivered a massive punch to Gaara's chest, completely destroying his sand arm and managing to wound Gaara to the point he almost broke one of his ribs. Crowd. Gaara got hit hard, Tamari said. During her short life, she never had seen anyone manage to touch or even wound Gaara with the exception of Naruto, who somehow always managed to sneak for his defenses. He did it during the preliminaries, and he's doing it again now. This is bad, Tamari Conqueror said. I know, Tamari replied. He might unleash before the sound gives the signal, Conqueror said, but they couldn't do anything but to watch as their brother was turning into a punching bag. Wow, look at him go, Ino said. She could barely keep up with Naruto's speed. Naruto still had his weights on, but he was pumping his legs with chakra and was going too fast for most gaining to track. After all, only speed could best guard sand defenses. Arena. Gaton, Gokyaku no Jutsu, great fireball technique, Naruto said, and exploded a fireball of gigantic proportions. It quickly collided with the sand waves that were coming towards Naruto and it transformed into glass. Naruto quickly dashed to the glass and gave it a hard punch, completely shattering it. Naruto was about to unleash another jutsu when sand arms arose from underneath the ground and trapped Naruto by his ankles. Die! Gaara yelled as Naruto was quickly enveloped in sand. Sabaku Q, sand coffin, Gaara said, and Naruto was completely covered in sand to the point he wasn't even visible to anyone. Sabaku Soso, sand funeral, Gaara said, as he increased the pressure in the sand coffin, completely crushing Naruto. Yes, I've proved my existence. Gaara said, laughing evilly, as he seemingly crushed his biggest foe in his sand, spilling his blood to his mother. Naruto! Kurona yelled from the balcony. Aside from her, everyone was silent, waiting for something to happen. Everyone was frozen in complete silence when Naruto's voice echoed from within the sand. Really, Gaara? You know I'm better than this. Gaara's eyes widened in shock as he watched Naruto very calmly walk out of the sand prison. The sand demon moved as Naruto walked out as if Naruto was nothing more than a ghost or the basic Bunshin. It's time I got rid of your sand, Naruto said before he made two shadow clones, each one taking Naruto's side, one on the left and the other on the right. All three Narutos moved in perfect synchronization. Katon, Gyuryuka no Jutsu, great dragon fire technique, the clone said before expelling a massive torrent of fire towards Gaara. This technique was the B rank one and the improved version of the normal dragon fire one. Futon, Daitopa, great breakthrough, the original Naruto said from the middle of the clones and sent a gust of wind that mixed with the fire and created what could only be described as an inferno. Gaara stood in shock as he watched the fire come closer and closer towards him. That technique had a very long range and seemed to be really pumped with chakra. Suna no tate, sand shield, Gaara said, and all of his sand left his gore and surrounded Gaara, making a rather thin protective shell. It seemed that Gaara already lost quite a bit of sand to Naruto's previous attacks. The fire clashed with the shield, and Gaara disappeared from the audience's view as they could only see a torrent of fire completely enveloping Gaara. Naruto ran out of air in his lungs and dropped his technique to see Gaara smirking inside a glass dome. Gaara quickly shattered the glass and eyed the blonde. "What can you do now without sand?" Naruto asked. "Fool," Gaara said before going through hand signs. "I am not trying to pronounce that. Sand rain," Gaara said, and strangely enough, it started raining. However, instead of water, it started raining sand, and a good deal of it. "I can easily create new sand by compressing the middle underground as well. And as long as I have sand, I can do anything," Gaara said before restocking his supplies of sand and preparing to restart his attacks. "Looks like destroying his sand is useless," Naruto thought, sighing as he realized all that work was for nothing. "Kagebox. They're very skilled," the Raikage commented. "But these Makibras seem to be in a pickle," the Raikage said. "What makes you think that?" the Hokage asked, confused. "From the battle, I noticed he tried to destroy the sand, but it seems that the sand brat can create more," the Raikage said, and they both turned to the Kazekage for an explanation. After all, the supposed fourth Kazekage was known for using his gold dust. "It would be a very dangerous problem if we ran out of sand, so we had to find new ways to create it on the spot," the Kazekage explained. "Interesting," the Raikage said. "The amount of skill and jutsus they're throwing easily puts them in Jonin level in terms of ninjutsu," the Kazekage said. "It was expected from Jinchurikis," Raikage said. "Yes," the Hokage agreed. Crowd. "How can they be so strong?" Kiba asked. "He didn't understand. He was from a clan, he trained every day, and he was ranked in the top during the academy days. Naruto had to grow up fast so he could shield himself from the hate he received," Kakashi explained. "Besides, from what I understand, he read almost the entire library of Konoha," Kakashi said, and everyone had their eyes wide to the size of dinner plates. "How is it even possible?" Sakura asked. "After all, Sakura is known for her book smarts." "Simple. The Sharingan provides the user with photographic memory, and Naruto can make hundreds of shadow clones," Kakashi explained. "What do clones have to do with everything?" Ino asked. "Shadow clones are special. When they dispel, everything the clone learned is transmitted to the user. The shadow clone was originally created for scouting," Kakashi explained. "That's amazing," Sakura said. She understood very well the ramifications of said jutsu. "How come they don't teach us that in the academy? It sounds like a perfect jutsu," Sakura asked. "Because it's forbidden jutsu," Kakashi explained, and few share the thought of forbidden. "The shadow clone takes a great amount of chakra to perform, and for most, creating a single shadow clone can kill the user. Even me, who has chakra levels bordering on Kage level, can only create about 20 without suffering chakra exhaustion," Kakashi said. "How in the hell can Naruto create so many?" Kiba asked. "Naruto has more chakra than anyone in the village. I estimate he has around 4 to 5 times the amount of the Hokage and keeps increasing," Kakashi explained with a bit of pride. "How in the world is that possible?" Sakura asked. They are now understanding just how powerful Naruto really was. 2 reasons. He has so much chakra because he's an Uzumaki, who were known for their massive chakra reserves. An ordinary Chunin had as much chakra as a Kage. And the second reason is because he's Jinchuriki. Jinchuriki tend to develop large chakra reserves due to having the Biju's chakra running through their coils. Put those two together and you have a chakra monster, Kakashi explained. "Amazing," Sakura said, amazed by Naruto once again. "That's pretty much it. I've rarely seen Naruto running out of chakra. I was already on the ground panting, Naruto wasn't even swaying," Hinata said. Suddenly another person walked into the middle of the crowd and was the one and only Uchiha Sasuke. "Sasuke-kun," Sakura said, schooling in a traditional way. Her respect for Naruto may have increased, but she still remained faithful to the Uchiha. "How are you feeling, Sasuke?" Kakashi asked, but the scowl on Sasuke's face told him everything. "You knew, didn't you?" Sasuke asked almost rhetorically. "Yes, I did," Kakashi flatly said. "Then why didn't you say anything?" Sasuke said, yelling. "Because he asked me not to, and I wasn't going to betray a promise to someone no matter what. Besides, I did tell you. You knew his bloodline as well as you knew your own," Kakashi said, and Sasuke scoffed. "What was the first thing I taught you?" Kakashi said, but Sasuke remained silent until Kakashi said, "Always look underneath the underneath." Sasuke simply crossed his arms and started cursing mentally as sensei. Arena. "This is the end," Gaara said before going through hand seals. "Sand tsunamis," Gaara called out, and a gigantic wave of sand erupted in front of him, going towards Naruto at high speeds. The wall of sand had the height of the arena walls and covered its entire width, leaving no room for evasion. It was a few seconds before the entire arena was covered in sand. Even the proctor had to leave the arena ground and made his way towards the crowd as it seemed the safest place to be. Naruto was nowhere to be seen, and Gaara thought his plan worked, and Naruto was trapped beneath all that sand. Sabaku Taiso, giant sand burial, Gaara said, and he slammed both of his hands on the ground, and shockwaves erupted from his palms and spread throughout the whole arena, shaking it. You were weak, Uzumaki, Gaara said, taking a few deep breaths. His sand may be his absolute defense, best weapon, but pulling such amounts was rare, chakra-consuming. I told you not to underestimate me, Naruto's voice echoed for the whole arena like some disembodied voice. Gaara was in shock as he watched Naruto swirling into appearance in front of him. The swirl seemed to be originating from his eyes. It was only a couple seconds before Naruto was seen in front of him unharmed. Kage box. What in the world was that? The Kazekage said, shocked. That technique seemed like a, I'm not pronouncing that, space-time ninjutsu. The blonde brat seemed to materialize himself on the arena. It looks like some form of space-time ninjutsu. Again, I'm not pronouncing that. Raikage thought out loud with his hand on his chin. Dry Dono, the Raikage said, looking at the Toad Sage. You seem to always teach someone with talent for space-time ninjutsu, Raikage said. Don't look at me, I didn't teach him that, Dry said, waving his hand. And that particular technique seems strong, as he didn't use any hand seals, Raikage said. What is it with blondes and space-time techniques, Raikage wondered out loud, making no Kage chuckle. Naruto was running full speed with his gravity seal still on, as he saw no need to disable them. He was running, and the sand was immediately after him, trying to stop him from reaching Gaara, and at the same time trying to kill him once and for all. Naruto easily approached Gaara and channeled lightning chakra to his fists and feet, and he started his onslaught on Gaara. He threw a right hook and hit Gaara, perfectly destroying his sand armor. Almost immediately, Gaara's sand tried to catch him, but only phased through Naruto as he continued his attacks at Gaara. What is going on? Gaara asked and fought. He didn't understand. The sand wasn't able to grab a hold of Naruto, and yet he continued to punch him like no tomorrow. Gaara was reduced to a mere punching bag. Naruto was getting ready to launch the next round of attacks. Naruto bypassed the sand and slid right under Gaara and gave him a kick to the chin, sending him to the air. Naruto quickly disappeared in a burst of speed and appeared right behind Gaara in the air and gave him a drop kick filled with rights and chakra that completely destroyed his sand armor and sent him to the ground hard. Gaara hit the ground, and everyone could hear the crack of a few bones. It was loud and clear that Gaara wasn't going to win this match. Naruto landed on the ground and jumped back a few feet so he could watch the state of Gaara as the cloud of dust was settling. The dust cleared and everyone could see Gaara slowly rising and the sand whirling around him and reforming his sand armor around his skin. Gaara's hand took the hand of a tiger seal, and the rest of the sand started enveloping itself around him, forming a solid cocoon of a hardened sand. A few seconds later, a bit of sand started gathering a few feet above the ground and started taking the form of a small spear. Moments later, the sand stopped and became a perfect eye that seemed to be watching Naruto while Gaara was inside the cocoon, going through hand seals slowly while saying them out loud. He's completely sealed off, Naruto thought out loud, as he was considering what to do in order to breach the sand cocoon. Naruto decided not to waste chakra. It's not as if he was already getting low, but other weapons are still good. You can't always rely on ninjutsu after all. Naruto was calling, walking towards the cocoon and whistling along the way. He arrived in the cocoon and slowly sand spear shot from the ball of sand, trying to pierce the blonde, but he continued walking as if it was nothing, and yet the spear still looked embedded deep in Naruto. Naruto arrived near the cocoon and calling went to his pocket and took out two explosive tags. He placed them in his right hand and slipped right through the cocoon using his Kamui. Sand or no sand, didn't matter what it was. Naruto's Kamui is a space-time technique and as such is limited to such obstacles. Naruto's right arm reached the inside and released both tags and walked back without a care in the world. When he was about 10 feet from the sandball, he did a half-tiger sign with his right hand and said, Kai! As he said this, the tags inside the cocoon suddenly exploded, but the cocoon remained, but everyone could see the bulks in the sand spear to the explosion. And since Gaara was inside and explosion couldn't leave, there wasn't much place to run and protect himself with, making Gaara take the full force of the explosion. A few seconds later, after the explosion, the sand that made Cocoon started to shake and fall to the ground, revealing a slightly mutated Gaara. His right arm was completely disproportional and was made entirely of sand. Gaara also had a sand tail on his back, and half his face was sand, with his right eye being Shikaku's. All in all, it was a partial transformation of Gaara's Biju. Make me feel alive, Uzumaki! Gaara yelled, as he slightly moved to test his new appearance. There was no sand on the ground or in his gourd as it was used for his partial transformation, so the lack of sand would be a plus. I guess this time I pulled it off, Naruto thought before channeling chakra to his sword seals in his wristbands and pulled out his favorite weapon. Clang! The weapon sounded as Naruto grabbed it by the handle with his right hand and rested to the ground. It was a wide fan with 3 blood-red tomoes on each side. It had a long hand with bandages wrapped around the base. The main part of the weapon was light brown with the edges being black. Flashback. Naruto was 9 years old and was exploring his true house, the Namikaze compound, if you could call it that. In fact, it was a fairly big house built for harboring a medium family or a couple intending to build one. Naruto was looking for the various rooms around the house and started going down the stairs into the basement. When he arrived, he saw a lot of weapons. Swords, shuriken, daggers, hundreds of three-pronged kunais, but from all that, there was one weapon that stood out from the rest. Kurama, who was looking for his vessel's eyes, immediately recognized it.
Holy shit,
Kurama said out loud, making Naruto jump from the sudden sound spike. Damn, Naruto said, nursing his head. Keep it down, Naruto said.
Do you even know what that weapon is?
Kurama asked. Naruto knew exactly what it was, but he wasn't particularly surprised by it. After all, his grandfather was known for using it quite extensively during his time. There, hanging on the wall, was Uchiha Madara's Gunbai, or war/battle fan. It's my grandfather's trademark weapon, so what? Naruto asked, clearly not understanding just what he had.
You fool, that is no ordinary weapon,
Kurama said. And seeing Naruto's confused face, he decided to elaborate.
Just listen,
Kurama said, and entered his lecture mode.
You know the legend of Sage of Six Paths, right? I did tell you about him a couple months ago.
Kurama asked. Yes, I remember, Naruto replied.
My father, or Rikudo Sanin,
Sage of Six Paths,
as you know, had special eyes known as the Rinnegan, the eyes of the gods. He used the power of his eyes extensively during his lifespan. During his life, he created 9 Bijuu. That's why he called him father. Understand so far?
Kurama asked, and Naruto nodded.
However, that wasn't the only thing he created. During his life, Rikudo Sanin created a special set of tools and weapons he used. In total, there were 6 tools, and that particular fan is one of them,
Kurama said, and Naruto's eyes widened.
I see you understand the implications. For starters, those weapons are several times more powerful than any others. You can't even compare them. However, there is a downfall with those weapons. Any other than a direct descent of my father as a Senju or pure-blood Uchiha. Those weapons require massive amounts of chakra to use and would kill a regular human just by them lifting the weapon,
Kurama said, and finished his explanation. Awesome, Naruto said as he eyed the weapon. He would definitely learn how to use it properly. Since I'm a pure-blood Uchiha, I can use it without that heavy chakra usage, right? Naruto asked.
Yes. Also, I forgot to mention that those weapons are pretty much indestructible, as they are made of a special metal that my father himself created,
Kurama said. Naruto hesitantly placed his right hand on the hilt and lifted the weapon from the wall holding it. It seemed as though it was made of a metal that wasn't particularly heavy, and wasn't even draining Naruto of chakra. For now, it seemed as nothing more than an ordinary weapon. As Naruto removed the fan from the wall, a piece of paper fell to the ground. Naruto bent over and picked it up, and there was writing on it. Minato, it's good to see that you are still alive and well. I heard you are making quite a name for yourself. I guess you will be next in line for the Hokage position. I'm proud of you. I sent you my favorite weapon as a gift since there is no Uchiha alive that can wield it properly besides you and me. Also, my time is nearing its end. Use it if you wish, but I guess that with me being your father, it would destroy your credibility if word would leak out. A word of warning. I still intend to bring peace to this world, and I hope we don't find each other on opposite paths. Good luck in your future, and never forget your origins. Your father, UM. Naruto read the letter several times and still had trouble believing that it was a congratulating letter of some sort from Madara to his son. Which, look at this, Naruto said out loud, but nobody was listening except Kurama.
I may hate Madara for controlling me, but I guess in the end, he still cared for his family, even though he clearly warned him,
Kurama said as his respect for Madara grew a little bit. He still despised him, but at least he didn't forget about his family. To foxes, there wasn't anything more terrible and demeaning than abandoning your own kin. Do you think he would hurt his own son to achieve his goals? Naruto asked.
How should I know? It's not like I knew Madara on a personal level,
Kurama replied. At least he's trying to bring peace to the world. That can't be a bad thing, Naruto mused out loud. He said his time was short, so I guess he's truly dead, Naruto said, as he picked up the weapon and left the letter in the same place. It was the only thing he had that truly connected him to his grandfather.
I suppose,
Kurama said. And the flashback. Kage box. Is that, the Kazekage asked when he noticed the weapon Naruto had pulled from his store seal? There in Naruto's hand was the one only war fan used by Uchiha Madara. It is. Uchiha Madara's war fan. To think I would see it again, the Hokage said, shocked that Naruto was in possession of said weapon. He knew very well that weapon since it was created by the Sage of Six Paths, and that was a very powerful tool. I guess he was telling the truth. He really is Madara's grandson. To be wielding his legendary gun by, the Hokage commented. Kumo had gathered all the Rakuto Sanin's tools, and they thought they had them all, but they didn't know that his fan was one of them as well. That brat is really a gold mine, Orochimaru thought, salivating everything he learned today. Let's see if he can use it properly, Raikage said. He knew a lot about Uchiha Madara. After all, the man was legend and hailed as one of the strongest shinobi to ever exist, being defeated only by Senju Hashirama. Even to this day, both of them are claimed to be something above shinobi, as even the more skilled ones couldn't even compete against such foes. Crowd. Impossible, Sasuke said out loud as he watched Naruto grip Madara's gun by. Looks like Naruto was telling the truth. He really is Madara's grandson. It matters not. No one will stand in my way, Sasuke thought. What is so special about that fan, Sakura asked. She didn't know why that fan provoked such a reaction from Sasuke. Well, it isn't exactly taught in the academy, but that weapon is very well known among the older population. That weapon was Uchiha Madara's trademark weapon. He used it to blow away shinobi by creating powerful gusts of wind. It may have other powers, but I only heard of that one. He also used it to power up his fire attacks to the point he could unleash a true inferno onto his enemies, Kakashi explained, and Sasuke sieved his teeth. That weapon should be in Sasuke's hand, so he could defeat his brother. Unbelievable, Sakura said. Naruto seemed to be an endless pit of surprises. Where'd he get it? I know from history that Madara left the village, Sakura asked. That? I don't know, Kakashi replied while eyeing Hinata. Hinata sighed before she started explaining. It seemed that today she was the narrator of Naruto's story. It was a gift Madara sent to his son and Naruto's father, Hinata briefly explained, not wanting to go into much detail. He had it all this time? Kakashi asked, no one with eyes widened. He never in a million years would have thought his sensei had possession of such a weapon. He had been to his house several times but never saw it. Well, he never actually went to the basement for that fact. I don't know what else to expect from the brat, Zabuza said, chuckling. He could never figure out the brat no matter how hard he tried. I'm sort of glad I didn't join this year's tuning exams. I don't think I would stand a chance against such powerful opponents, Haku exclaimed. Don't sell yourself short, Haku. You're very strong, Zabuza said. Thank you, Zabuza-san, Haku replied. Arena. Let me show you my true power. No borrowed power, just me, Naruto said out loud as his grip on his fan became stronger. Sand bullet, the transformed Gaara said, and from his new sand body exploded dozens of small spears of sand that went towards Naruto with groundbreaking speed. Naruto using Sharingan calculated the bullet's path, and with a single swing of his fan, he completely destroyed the bullets, leaving no evidence of it. Naruto quickly made single-handed seals that he learned from Haku and practiced it by using them in conjunction with his gunbai, as his fan occupied his right hand. Gaton, Karyu Endan, Fire Dragon Bullet, Naruto called out, and unleashed a massive torrent of white flames towards Gaara. Naruto, as he was unleashing his fire, he swung his fan and said, Futon, fanned wind, and a powerful gust of wind emerged from his fan, powering his flames. That was Naruto's most powerful attack. An A-rank attack, however, this attack was powered by the fan's wind, easily making it jump to S-rank. Gaara coiled himself with his tail, protecting his head, and was engulfed in the flames, completely disappearing from view. Many people in the crowd, and even some of the shinobi, had to protect their eyes and avert their faces from the arena due to the amount of heat and light being generated from Naruto's attack. The proctor was concerned if he would come out alive, and he wasn't even fighting. He was more concerned with running for his life, trying to get out of the way of the flames that seemed to engulf the whole arena. Enough! Gaara yelled, and released a roar that dispersed the flames around him, revealing a scorched Gaara but otherwise okay. It seemed that sand powered by his Shikaku chakra made it unable to transform him into glass and be destroyed. Gaara dashed towards Naruto, cocking back his mutated right arm, trying to punch Naruto. Naruto channeled chakra to his gunbai, and a semi-transparent circular barrier appeared in mid-air. Gaara's right arm connected with the barrier, and a shockwave erupted, but the barrier didn't even waver or crack, and Gaara recoiled his arm in pain. Futon, Mugen Saijin Daitopa, Infinite Sand, great breakthrough, Gaara said, before multiple mouths formed all over his body, taking air in. They all breathed out at the same time and unleashed a powerful gust of wind filled with sand. Naruto pumped chakra into his fan and swinging it, Naruto created an equally powerful gust of wind that negated Gaara's attack. Naruto placed his fan on his back and secured it with chakra so it wouldn't slide off. Naruto immediately dashed towards Gaara, and everyone could hear electricity crackling in his hands as it sounded even stronger than the original Chidori. Gaara brought his mutated arm to try and hit Naruto to disrupt his attack, but that didn't work as well as Gaara wanted it to. Raikiri! Naruto yelled, and infusing his right hand with lightning chakra, he continued his path towards Gaara, completely tearing through his arm and shoving his Raikiri through Gaara's right shoulder, making him cry in pain as blood splattered to the ground. Crowd. Looks like Naruto can use that fan rather well, Zabuza said, as he watched Naruto powering his flames using wind created by his fan, but also creating some sort of shield to block Gaara's punch. Yes, apparently that fan has more powers that I didn't even know about, Kakashi mused out loud as he watched the battle unfold. They watched the battle unfold when Naruto placed his fan on his back and they heard a similar chirping like to Chidori. What's that? Sasuke asked as he had his Sharingan activated and tried to copy Naruto's technique. It looks like the Chidori, Sasuke stated. That's the upgrade version of my Chidori, Kakashi flatly said. What? There's a stronger version? Why didn't you teach me that one instead? Sasuke asked the main answers. The Raikiri is an S-rank technique. You can only do the normal Chidori twice a day, and the Raikiri takes the same amount to perform. Meaning you might not have enough chakra to perform it, Kakashi explained, and Sasuke scowled. How the hell does Naruto have more chakra than me? During our fight, he threw around jutsu like it was just shuriken. How can he have so much? Sasuke asked, almost yelling. You can call it the Kage Genkai of the Uzumaki clan. Their members are born with unusually large chakra reserves, and ordinary Chunin has chakra levels that can rival Kage levels, Kakashi explained, and Sasuke scowled. If I told him he was a Senju, Sasuke would most likely faint. A Senju using a Sharingan. Ironic, Kakashi thought. So he has two Kage Genkai, Sakura asked. The chakra reserves aren't considered Kage Genkai, so he only has a Sharingan, Kakashi explained. And Sasuke muttered something about lucky dobies. Kage Box. I don't think this can be considered an ordinary Chunin exams, the Raikage said out loud. The amount of skill being used easily placed him in Join level. True, their skill is far beyond the regular Genin or Chunin for that matter, the Hokage agreed. And by the looks of it, it really is Madara's war fan by seeing the amount of power he's used, and the Raikage commented with his hand on his chin. The Kazekage kept silent throughout the whole conversation and was considering when to signal the beginning of the invasion, since Gaara seemed to be in partial transformation and could at any time unleash the full Bijou. Arena. Blood! It's my blood! Gaara screamed in pain as he felt for the first time in his whole life the warmth of his blood. Suddenly, the sand around him rose up to the sky and exploded in smoke. When the smoke cleared, it showed an 80 feet tall sand tanuki with one tail. It was the full release HP, also known as Shikaku. Naruto watched the tanuki in front of him very carefully. Suddenly, all around the arena, it started raining feathers from the sky. So it begins, Naruto thought, as he placed his hands on the ram seal and said, Kai, breaking the illusion. The invasion has begun, Naruto said, as he prepared himself to face the fully unleashed Shikaku. And that is the end of chapter 22, aka the last chapter of this video. Thank you all for watching this final Legacy fanfic reading before we go into the part 1 movie. Again, I really do enjoy this fanfic reading. It does take a lot of time to make, but still, it was an enjoyable, fanfic read, and I really do love this series. Also, again, I was going to do chapter 23, but that chapter is very, very long. So, yeah, that's kind of why I did not do that. Anyways, make sure you get ready for what if Naruto's half you get half Uchiha. Get ready for what if Kakashi was in Uchiha. Get ready for what if Goku was in Naruto. And also, get ready for the Legacy movie, which is coming very soon. And also my first MHA fanfic read. And potentially another addition to the Spire Deku series. What if Deku has Spider-Man's Powers Part 4. So, that should be fun. Anyways, in terms of other stuff, watch the community tab like a hawk. That's very important. And follow me on Twitter for get notified my videos. And also, I do post some funny stuff over there, so go follow me on there. Also, follow me on Instagram, anime_stage4, as that is a good way for you to interact with me, as well as see some funny memes over there. But that's all there is to it. And I'm getting close to 1,000 followers, so follow me on Instagram. And finally, join my Discord server, which has a way you can interact with me directly. You can send me ideas directly, and you have another way to get notified of my videos. And there's some other fun stuff in between that you can only get if you join my Discord. So join my Discord server. So once again, follow me on Twitter @stage4, Instagram anime_stage4, and join my Discord server. And finally, shout out my $10 patrons. Their names on the screen. Also, shout out to my $50 patron Anguish and my $30 patron Nashu. If you want rewards to shouts like these, you can do that by donating to my Patreon, and you get some rewards. So yeah, go go donate to my Patreon. Okay, so cool. All right, nice. Thank you all for 36k subscribers. It really does mean a lot to me. And let's get to 37k and eventually 40k and eventually 50k. And yeah, that should be about it for this video. Before I mention one more thing, go follow me on Twitch, as do my podcast streams over there. So yeah, go follow me on Twitch. And that's about it. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and share the video. This has been your boy, the Anime Sage. Sign out. Peace. Yorha. Stephanie Shea. Close us out. Bye-bye. Peace.
Hi, this is Stephanie Shea, voice actress for Sailor Moon, Hinata, Orihime, and you are watching Anime Sage.